So last night I watched a movie called Blood Star, which is a brand new 2025 horror thriller, which is about a woman who's traveling across the state, or I don't know how far she's traveling, but she's trying to return home to her abusive boyfriend. And along the way, she runs into a small town sheriff. Make sure that you understand that he's the sheriff. Don't want to get into any trouble with him. And he is an antagonizer. He likes to stalk his prey and assert his authority over them. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those situations where what do you do when it is someone who is law enforcement, right? You definitely are at a huge disadvantage because they're the law and you're trying to abide by those laws, and you feel like, who are you going to call, right? Ain't going to call the Ghostbusters. You sure as hell ain't going to be able to call the cops because this town that she finds herself in, town, this desert road, basically. He's the only cop in the area, and he comes after her and he antagonizes the shit out of her. And at first, it just seems like he is a cop that is trying to hustle her for money, but it, of course, devolves from there. Yeah, this one was okay. It was well shot. I think one of the big issues here is our lead performance is fairly amateur. The film is definitely meant to be like a female empowerment film, which is good, but I don't know. The performance from our lead here isn't bad. It's just inexperienced and amateur. And I also kind of blame some of that on the dialogue for sure. I think some of it's corny and there's interactions. There's a lot of like talking and dialogue in this, which is fine. And there's like a long exchange between two characters. She finds someone else that she picks up along the way, and they talk for a long period of time. And this is supposed to be like emotional growth for her and kind of working through her demons, talking to this girl and finding things out. And I just feel like this role really required a very dramatic performance that I'm not sure that this actress was up to the task for, but I still respect the attempt. Because as I said, I don't think it's bad. I don't. I just think that it needs work. So there's that aspect of it too. Yeah, as far as, and then also like in the end, when we get to the last like 20 minutes climax of the film, and we learn a little bit more about the history of our killer, our antagonist, it does feel a little bit a little try hard, right? They do that thing where they give him this backstory that's just so obvious. It's just kind of like everyone's interpretation of what an evil guy's backstory would be, kind of thing. I don't know. I always find that to be somewhat lazy. It's just so basic. That kind of stuff is always just like, oh yeah, okay, here we go. Check the boxes. Like, this is what fucks people up, and everyone who's had this backstory is a psycho. It's like, I don't know. Things are a little bit more nuanced than that these days, and people definitely go through worse and come out fine. So I don't know. I find that kind of stuff to just be a bit lazy. It's not terrible. I'm super used to it. It's horror, right? We get stories and stuff like this all the time. As far as the performance from our antagonist, it's good. You know, I'm reminded of stuff like Desperation, which I really wish they'd remake and do a proper adaptation of alongside The Regulators, Stephen King duology, or something like Cop Car with Kevin Bacon, directed by John Watts. That's a really cool movie. Definitely check that out if for some reason you passed by it. That's a good thriller. Desperation, not so much. So if I were to recommend anything here on those films mentioned, Cop Car would definitely be the one to go with. This one's okay. I was hoping, while watching it, I was hoping I would get more into it, that we'd have some really cool chase sequences. That's another thing. The like chase sequences that we get here. You can take that off. Uh, Sorry, my wife is sitting in the kitchen cooking right now as I'm lazily sitting here. No. There's some moments where the cops kind of chasing after her in the car, and the way that it's shot just doesn't have any feeling of like speed and danger to it. It feels very staged and slow paced, which that always hurts sequences like that, right? You have to feel the thrill and the danger to feel like she's actually, um, in peril. And I liked the ending though. I was a fan of what ended up transpiring in the end. I thought that was pretty good. I was into that, and yeah, kind of fist pumpy. I don't really know if I'm not going to even say that because I don't want to hint at any conclusion. But yeah, it's watchable. It's watchable. I wasn't big on it, but I've seen plenty of films like this. People who are in cars who are being relentlessly pursued by maniacs, whether it's Joyride or the Duel, of course, and then I'm even reminded somewhat of like the Rest Stop movies or something like that. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. That's about as much. I would have liked more gore, right? I would have liked more thrills. Like you want a great film like this. The C. Thomas Howell, Rutger Hauer, Jennifer Jason Leigh, amazing film from I think 1986, The Hitcher. If for some reason you haven't seen that film, that is one of the quintessential terror on the road films. That is how you do a relentless psychopath who doesn't really seem to have any motive other than he just loves antagonizing his victims. He just seems to get off on making people's life a living hell and using his power over them. This movie just does not even remotely capture the fear and helplessness and vulnerability. I mean, that's definitely horror at its purest, right? Is when you feel like there is no hope, that there's nothing you can do, that you're at such a disadvantage against your enemy, that what the fuck are you to do? So I don't know. This was, I've said it. I've said my piece. Check it out if you want. Let me know. Adios.